You know, that's just my opinion. Everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something to say.
Hello everybody, welcome to Rants with Jordan. I'm Jordan. If you are new here, hello. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. Now, as you all know, or if you've been following my channel for the past few months, you know that I really love playing The Sims. But there is a game that I think I love playing just as much or even a bit more so than The Sims, and that game is Cities Skylines. I love this game so fucking much, and I think I'm gonna do a video on why I think Cities Skylines is more fun to play than The Sims 4. I honestly do believe I have a bit more fun playing City Skylines than I do playing The Sims 4. In fact, after this, I'm going to play City Skylines while editing these. This is my second video of the night, while editing some videos, so yeah. But anyway, as you can tell by the title, I just want to go through, this is a lot like my Sims 4 video, which I really want to redo because the audio in that video was so horrible. But, in this video, I just want to run down what I want in City Skylines 2, or maybe depending on what they're doing in City Skylines, what I want in City Skylines moving forward, I guess. But really, I think this stuff should be everything we got in City Skylines. I think we should have again in City Skylines 2. I think we need to add more stuff. Anyway. The first thing on my list is, and y'all might not know this about me, I love studying natural disasters. I've had an interest in studying natural disasters since I was little. Before I discovered my passion for music, I used to want to be a meteorologist and a hurricane hunter. But I really like studying natural disasters, and the natural disasters DLC in City Skylines, I think is, again, if y'all can hear them right outside my door, I am so sorry. I can't control what the hell's going on with that. But with the City Skylines disaster DLC, we got a lot of disasters, and I want to say that a lot of them are pretty good. If I can remember them all, we have tornadoes, we have tsunamis, we have oh my god, guys, tornadoes, tsunamis, we have meteors, we have sinkholes, we have earthquakes, we have thunderstorms, we have wildfires, and we have building collapses. Right? I think that's it. Yes, I think that's it. So we have a lot of disasters. I would like 4 more disasters. And the way I want these to work, I think we would just need to have a City Skylines 2 in order for them to work. Yeah, I just realized I'm looking at my coffee machine. I really want coffee. My stomach is don't drink it, but my brain is yes. So I'm making me some coffee. Or I might make it during this video. I don't know. Walk around my room with me, maybe. So here are the natural disasters that I really want to see in the City Skylines 2. Again, I think we can keep the original disasters we got, and I think we can do some tweaking with them, and I'll talk about that in a second. But when it comes to the other natural disasters, I think the natural disaster I want the most added into City Skylines is hurricanes. I really want hurricanes added to City Skylines, and here is kind of how I want hurricanes to work, right? And I would say and I think hurricanes should work like tsunamis, in which it takes a long time for it to actually happen. So you have, and here's the thing. This is another thing that I think would be cool. I probably should have talked about this before I talked about natural disasters, but depending on the kind of climate, or depending on the kind of theme for your map, if you've played Skylines, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, each map has its own theme. I'm almost certain it's either no theme, tropical aerial, I think. I know there's like themes of City Skylines, like what the map themes are. And if your theme or if your map is like beachy tropical and everything, or the map is like set in a place that has the conditions for hurricanes, I think hurricanes should form on this map. Which also, in my opinion, natural disasters should only be able to, there are only certain natural disasters should only be able to form on certain maps. But I'll talk about that later when it comes to climate. But the way hurricanes would work, you would select the button, pick which kind of hurricane you want. So here is what I would want for the hurricane levels, right? You will have a tropical depression. And I think a tropical depression should just be a little bit more intense of a thunderstorm, or honestly, just reuse the thunderstorm animation. Who's gonna know? Tropical depression should be just like big ass thunderstorm, right? Then tropical storm should be like that, but like there's visibly a bit more like wind that you can see moving across the map. Then category 1, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. And the way I also want hurricanes to work is that I want storm surges. So basically, which a lot of the time we can just reuse assets. Like we can just reuse the tsunami thing while a hurricane is going on, and just have a hurricane. Because you can low key make your own hurricane if you just, as your tsunami's hitting the coast, you make a thunderstorm. But like, I think, hear me out. So storm surges and everything that affect the coastline, but also hurricanes need to cause flooding. Hurricanes need to cause flooding. Rivers need to be overflowing. The ocean needs to be like rising. Hurricanes need to cause flooding. And that brings me to my next thing, is flooding. You can create your own floods if you fuck around with like the water too much in the City Skylines. Like I've been trying to get one of my islands in my current game to not flood for the past like few weeks, and I finally figured out a way to like make sure that it doesn't flood. But like, I just think that, you know, flooding like naturally, like natural flood, like rivers and, you know, stuff just overflowing due to thunderstorms or hurricanes, I think that'd be really, really cool. But hurricanes leads me to flooding. And when it comes to hurricanes, it would be really, really cool if when the wind is also like damaging buildings. Like if you like zoomed in to like the street level, you could see like little like papers and like trash cans get out over, like things flying in hurricanes. That'd be really, really, really cool. What the hell? Oh my god. I cannot wait to be off this fucking campus. But anyway. My next thing is landslides. I would be so honest, I have no idea how I want this implemented. I just know like landslides would be really, really cool. But also I want landslides as another way to cause a tsunami. Hear me out. I really want landslides as another way to cause tsunamis. I think landslides, like you have an island in the ocean, like a landslide happens and boom, you're automatically having a big ass tsunami without actually having to, you know, without actually having to have a tsunami like happen and wait like 20 minutes for it to get there. You can have a landslide do it. But again, I don't know how I want this to happen. So yeah. The last disaster I want added, and if there's any more you all want, let me know. This is what I thought off the top of my head. Jesus Christ, they're right outside my door. They're right outside my door. But I'm gonna power through. I'm so sorry. Like, I only have a few hours for my roommate to like get back. I need to edit. Jesus. Is the next disaster on my list is volcanoes. And I would really, really, really like to see volcanoes implemented. Sorry, I gotta make sure my computer stays on. I would really, really, really like to see volcanoes implemented into the game. I really think volcanoes would be a really cool feature. So when it comes to like hot rocks flying out of the volcano, we can reuse the meteor asset. Who's gonna know? We can reuse the meteor asset. It can come from off screen. Like, okay, that's fine. We can reuse that. I would like to see, like, I think we can achieve having like working magma and lava in the game if basically if what's the phrase I'm looking for? Basically, it's like how the water works in the game, but it's a bit more slow or fast, depending on what kind of magma, what kind of volcano it is. And we have different kinds of volcanoes, which I probably should have looked up a list of like different kinds of volcanoes, but I would love different kinds of volcanoes. That'd be really, really, really cool. And then in order for this to work, the Sims and the vehicles in the game need to react to disasters. It's so annoying that like in order for Sims to react to disasters, you have to evacuate your citizens basically to the evacuation center that you can place in your city. You have to evacuate your citizens, and I think that's so stupid. I really do. Your Sims should be reacting to, like, if there's a tornado happening, I shouldn't have to evacuate an entire city because a tornado is touching down. Tornadoes are like, you can't like predict exactly where it's going to touch down a lot of the times. Like, it's something that just happens and you have to react. I want my Sims to react to disasters. If there is a tornado touching down and we need tornado sirens, by the way. I think we should have tornado and tsunami sirens, but like that's just me. That you can place throughout your city. But when the tornado sirens go off, I need the people who are in the affected area to react. Like, go inside of a building, whether it be a commercial building, an office building. Like, they need to go inside of a building, go underground into a subway station. Like, something needs to happen. Which also brings me to another thing on natural disasters. I think for like tornadoes and volcanoes and landslides, if like kind of how districts work, if you could paint an area of effect, like when you make your tornado can touch down anywhere in this area and it can't go outside of this area. You want a specific part of your city being hit by a tornado by the other part. Because if you play like me, for people who play like me, I play City Skylines where I think of my map as a state. And then from there, every district I create is its own city within that state. Does that make sense to you guys? Comment down below if it does or doesn't. We'll talk. We spent 12 minutes on just natural disasters, but like, yeah. Oh, I don't know if we have this in the game, but like, I think it'll be really, really cool. It'll be a tidal system. And like having a high tide and a low tide. And how it could work is like for maybe like 30 minutes, the tide can be low. For 30 minutes, the tide can be high. Oh my god, I hope they're all going out tonight because like I just want to like edit in peace. If you can hear them outside my dorm, I am so sorry. But I gotta like get this video out. Title systems could be good, but also I would like to build. Let's go back to hurricanes. I love hurricanes, right? I would like for us to be able to build houses that are on stilts. Like you have, like it's like how a street would work. But you have a parking facility along the beach, right? And then you have a boardwalk that goes out into the water with houses on stilts. And they have a whole community on stilts, which also could like help to simulate areas in different countries and stuff. Like that'd be really, really, really cool. So a tidal system will be really, really cool in the game. My next thing is we're on 1, 2, 3. We're in the 4th point. More types of climate. Volcanic climates where like volcanoes are like affect the weather. Mountainous climates where like mountaintops, like at the top of mountains there's snow but at the bottom there isn't, and the snow from the top of the mountains creates its own rivers. Oceanic climates where like, you know, the ocean is a big factor in how the weather and what the weather does in your city. Tropical climates, arid climates, desert climates where if you are in a desert you shouldn't be able to create a thunderstorm if you want to in a desert. And if you can create a thunderstorm, the desert should be flooding like hell because deserts can't suck up all that water. That'd be really, really cool. I think that'd be really, really cool. More types of climate in the game, I think, would just be really, really cool. Like how the climate can just affect the weather. Like that's really the first 5 points six, actually. My first 6 points, because I have one more point, is just talking about the weather and how the weather could be improved so much in City Skylines 2. Next, seasons. I want seasons in the game. Whoa. Steal from The Sims 4. I don't care. So here's how I think seasons should work, right? Here's how I think seasons should work. Most people, in my opinion, or most people that I know who play City Skylines, are usually play with one city for about 30 to 40 hours. Because it takes a long time to build out all your traffic systems and like playing your neighborhoods and shit. So here's the thing. When you click to start a game, it asks you what season you would like to start in. And depending on the season you start in is what resources you are given when you first start the game. And I would say every 2 hours in real life is a season. So if you play City Skylines for 5 hours straight, you should go through at least 2 seasons. And here's why I say you should go through at least 2 seasons, even though seasons should be 2 hours long and there's 5 hours. When you transition in between seasons, that transition should take 15 to 30 minutes in real time. Summer doesn't just automatically become fall. It doesn't automatically just like orange, brown, red, yellow leaves. It doesn't happen. It happens gradually. And I think the game should tell you what season it's in, but also, back to weather, whoa, depending on what seasons you're in, depends on what kind of natural disaster you get in the game. If you are in like late summer, early fall, and you're in an oceanic climate, you should be more at prone to getting a hurricane during those how much would that be? During those like 4 or 5 hours. During those 4 or 5 hours of late summer, early fall, you should be more prone, and you're in an oceanic climate. Your game should push the probability of a hurricane happening to be even higher. And then depending on how you set your climate too, which that'd be a really cool thing if you could set your climate to be like, if you could set your climate to be hot, so that like, or set your ocean temperature to be warm so that like disasters can happen more frequently. You can challenge yourself. That'd be really, really cool. Or like if you are in a mountainous climate and it's winter and all of a sudden there's a huge blizzard that pops up in the winter time. Like, I think all this stuff can work so well together if they do what I say. Basically, do what I say, City Skylines. Hire me. I need money. Next, I think seasons will be so cool, guys. I think seasons will be so cool. The next thing is the ability to build high school complexes like how you can build a university. Hear me out. Not all high schools is just like one building. Some high schools are built to simulate or to emulate a college campus. Some high schools are built within college campuses. So being able to build a high school complex would be really, really cool, but also being able to build like a high school sports stadium, a swimming pool that you can put in the area of the high school that like the high school could use for swim meets and stuff like that. That'd be really, really, really cool. And then, the ability to build specialized high schools. And if you have more types of high schools that are specialized, put them down in the comments, but I have 4. And those specializations are, actually I have 5. I just thought of one. But actually I have 5. Sports, music, theater, STEM, and international. So with sport, I'm sorry y'all, my sinuses are like fucked up. So for the sports specialization, the sports specialization would raise citizens' health, especially health among teenagers and young adults in the Sims game, in City Skylines. The music and theater specializations help to attract more visitors to your city because you're having a school that specializes in pumping out artists. And STEM schools produce smarter citizens. So more citizens are eligible for college and more citizens are eligible to go into high-level jobs, either out of high school or after college. That'll be really, really cool. And then international schools, I think international schools I don't know what the buff would be for international schools. I really don't know. I don't know how that would work. I just think like having dedicated like international schools would be really, really cool. I guess it boosts your citizens' happiness because your citizens want diversity and they want a place where like if their kid is from like Colombia, they can like go somewhere where someone speaks the language and can learn from them, or their kid is from like the Netherlands, someone can go there and speak Dutch. That'd be really, really cool. And then also when it comes to schools, my 3 points for schools, the ability to set schools to be private or public is essential to me. Actually, if we get like a actual like public, none of this stuff is going to be in City Skylines 2, by the way. Like I'm being so on, none of this stuff is going to be in City Skylines 2. This is like a lot. This is a lot for a game. Like, and this everything I'm talking about right now would melt your computer, but like I still want it, so give it to me. But the ability to set schools to be public or private, if you could make like a public school system and like within a district have a public school system and set a school's budget to simulate like not good school, but schools that have budgets and schools that don't have budgets and everything. And every so often in the game, you get a school report from all your districts, and you can like go through and like see what schools are doing well and like adjust the budget for certain schools or for certain districts. That'd be really, 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 really cool. And then private schools do their own thing anyway. So yeah. And for public schools, you can set the rules and regulations for those public schools, like free lunches or something like that. And private schools can have their own kinds of rules, like how much tuition would be in a private school. So yeah. My next 2 points. My next 2 points are about government in the game. I think the government can play. Hold up. Jump cut. I think the government can play a bigger role, or like, cause technically speaking, like when you're, in City Skylines, all your sims refer to you as the mayor, right? So I think government could be really, 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 really cool, and it can play a bigger role in this game. Like, in my opinion, every single district that you draw needs to have at least one government building or some kind of government campus. And we can have different buildings that give different specializations to different districts and everything. But also, once your city gets past like 75k people, once your city gets past 75,000 people, you have the ability to build a state government. And you need to build a government that will basically act like the capital center for the entire map, basically. And that comes with its own like policies and like buffs and debuffs that like can be added to your city. And you could choose to either have your government be a bit really corrupt and tax the hell out of your citizens and like not provide any services, or have your government be like however you want your government to be. I think it would be really, really cool. I think also having motorcades would be really, really cool, and it could also add to like traffic problems and like fixing traffic. Motorcades would be so cool. I'm being so serious. Like being able to have a motorcade, like an important official is coming in, or like having international affairs building, and like people are like coming in from another country, or like, you know, somebody from a different city is coming in to like delegate and everything, and like you can just you can have a motorcade. You can choose the route the motorcade takes throughout the city, and like the police will block off streets for like a few minutes, and like you can't do anything, and like the motorcade has to go through. I think that'd be really, really, really cool. Yeah. That's my government talk. I think the government can just be more present in City Skylines. I think we can do a bit better with making the government more present in City Skylines. I really, really think like having government buildings that do stuff would like make the game so much more fun for me. The next topic is just on like buildings in general. I don't know. I don't think we have mixed use buildings in City Skylines. Like, I think you have to have mods. I don't even think mods can do it. I think you have to have like just like downloadable content, not downloadable content, like you need to like download items from the workshop and have a building that's like a residential building, but like have the Chipotle at the bottom of it, even though the Chipotle is not an actual like commercial building, it's still part of a residential building. Like we have that, but we don't really have I don't think we have true mixed development. And having areas of your city where it's like stores at the bottom, apartments on top, or having like those townhouses, like in like when I grew up in growing up in Charlotte and then growing up in DC, you would have townhouses that would double as both the house and the business. I think that'd be really, 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 really cool. So I somehow implement mixed use buildings into the game. I think would be really, really, really cool. Yeah. The next is talking about traffic. My next point is talking about traffic. Can we get traffic accidents and like have that be dealt with? That'd be so cool. Having traffic accidents. I think having traffic accidents would be so cool, and like it just adds to like the traffic problems you have to deal with. And I would like it actually to set how often your citizens get into how often your citizens can get into a traffic accident. I think that'd be really, really cool. And have like you just like minding your business, building a town, all of a sudden you go back, check on an old area of your city, and you find that like there's a 10-car pile up on the highway. That'd be really, 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 really cool. Next is so these next 2 points I'm gonna make, both are they both relate to each other, because concerts was the last thing I want to talk about. But no, I'm going to talk about it separately because they're different enough. The ability to host events will be so cool. Having a building or buildings like convention centers, sport complexes, Olympic-sized event spaces, areas where you can have festivals and a fair, like that kind of stuff in the game, I think would be really, really cool. So like being able to host things like the Olympics in your city, being able to host like the World Fair, being able to host the World Cup, being able to host a Pride event in your city, or like any other kind of event in your city, or being able to host sporting events, which we could already do, but like I think we could make it a bit more realistic, and being able to have buildings that like are dedicated to like election spaces and like speakers and stuff like that, and then having the ability to compete with other cities, having to basically meet certain requirements that other cities don't meet in order for these events to even consider being in your city, and being able to win and lose bids for these events. I think that'd be really, really, really cool. Imagine like having a humongous ass sports complex that's like for Olympic stadiums, or imagine having parking lots that you could put, but right outside of your stadiums that are designed to have people tailgate in them. That'd be so cool. Yes. We're making so much noise. I'm so sorry. The next thing is like a couple of things I'm gonna like breeze through. Protest and homelessness. I would love to be able to like have to deal with a homelessness issue in my city, and like having to have like provide resources to get homelessness down, and protest, like having pop-ups where in order for pop-ups not to be annoying, you could just have like, you could have all your pop-ups go to your main government building. Actually, that'd be really, really cool. So you don't have to like, your game doesn't like pause every so often like The Sims does and have a pop-up. But like you can have a pop-up like there's a protest being planned on this date at this area in the city, and like seeing people like stop traffic and have different kinds of protests to be really, really cool. And solving homelessness to be really, really cool. Gentrification in slum neighborhoods, I think, would be really, really, really cool. Giving us assets of like poor, rundown neighborhoods is something I need, because my cities suffer from like looking too nice, And what I don't like about City Skylines is that the game really wants you to have the highest land value for every part of your city. And for people who play realistically, like I do kinda, that's just not possible. There are some parts of your city that need to just be like low income housing, because my city right now, because you have to work so hard in order to get like high land value, poor people can't live in your city. And so that's really cool. Or having slum neighborhoods, and over time having developers come in and like gentrify said area would be really, really cool. And then that'd be cool if you could actually set a area that's like poor in your city and set it up to be gentrified and have the buildings be replaced and be gentrified. That'd be really, really cool. Last thing, and this is actually not that long of a video. Oh my god. Last thing, I want concerts. I want concerts in the game. The Chirpy Festival is cool and all. Like that's okay. That's some good appetizers. But no, I want like full on concerts. I want venue. I want both stadiums that. I want people like. Okay, so you know how like your sports teams can use your stadiums and everything to host sporting events and all that? I also would like performing artists, and the way you can make so many puns onto so many famous people will be so cool. I want performing artists to also be able to use stadiums and arenas for tours and stuff, and that be added with like your traffic that can like cause traffic problems in the heart of your city. If your arenas in a part of your city are like causing like traffic issues with like parking at a stadium and stuff like that, and public transportation to that stadium to go see that artist perform and everything. And I would like an outdoor concert venue. So like, you know how like example, Beyonce at Coachella. Like, I want a concert venue that's specifically designed for that. That asset is huge and just full of people going to go see an artist. I want a concert venue like that. That'd be so cool. That's it. Jesus fucking Christ. That's it. I'm gonna go edit my YouTube videos now, but like that's what I want in City Skylines 2. As you can see, I really want a lot, but also everything that was in City Skylines 1 I want in City Skylines 2. Like, it just needs to be in City Skylines 2. So, like, cut the bullshit. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Not only does liking and subscribing and commenting and sharing help to... They're not only to share my video help to reach other people and, like, directly having people be interested in my channel, but also liking and commenting helps me to get recommended to other people so I can grow my channel. And again, I would love to monetize my channel. I would, again, if I can make $200 from my channel a month, while being in college, I would like that. That'd be that $200 a month could help me out in so many ways. So, and eventually when my channel gets big enough, I want to start a Patreon. So, because I am a musician. I want to do music. I take my first vocal lessons next semester. I'm so excited. I should make a video about that, about like just college, like over the winter break. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Anyway, I will see you all later. Have a good weekend. I don't know which one of my videos you're going to see first. Either you're going to see this one first, or you're going to see my Drake, Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, Kanye West video first. I don't know. But one video you're probably going to get tomorrow, so Saturday or Sunday, and then the other video you're probably going to get next Thursday or Friday. Yeah. Anyway, I make these outros way too long. I will see y'all later. Goodbye.